Everybody is doing absolutely amazing. I want to welcome you to Getting Naked. Getting Naked, where we keep it real, we keep it raw, and we keep it funny as AF. Baby, what does that mean?
Funny as fuck.
Perfect. Well, hey, look, guys, you guys are in for a treat today. We are going live from actual Instagram. We're going live on Clubhouse. We're going live on so many applications. I don't even much know which ones they are, but all you have to do is look up the Hello LLC, and I promise you will find us live and in charge. I don't know what's going on, but hey, something's going on. Let me get the Tara in here in 1 second. One more mental Hello LLC, and I promise you will find us live and in charge. I don't know what's going on, but hey.
Boo! Hi! So, we're going to have to figure this out real quick on the thing, because can our Clubhouse audience hear me through that? No, because you have your thing on, huh? Hold on. We're about to do this. Actually, we're good because we don't have much of an audio because I have you down up there, so we should be good. All right. Look, test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Are we here?
Can you guys hear us? Can people on Miranda, can you hear us on the phone?
Yes, this is Joey.
Okay, perfect. Tara, you're gonna need to put those headphones in.
Mute yourself. Dur.
Yeah, how long does it take to put on headsets? Give Tara a countdown.
Okay, we back, chat. How does that? Does that work? No echo. All right, but I love it. So real quick. For those that are on YouTube, yes, those that are coming with us on YouTube and Twitter, welcome to our podcast. You cannot see Mr. David Jones, but he is on here. And so we are about ready to rock this house. So, y'all, we got so many plates spinning. This is going to be fun. Okay, let's go. Yeah. I don't think they know who they fucking with. Oh, excuse me. Look, I told you we're going to start off. Like this, like the orbit. A little bit about me. How long is our podcast? Not that long. All right. Well, so a little bit about me, you guys, those that don't know, for Getting Naked. Hi. I can hear myself back, but that's okay. So I was born in Alaska, raised in Idaho, and I mean small town, country town, farm town, Idaho. We had more cows that outnumbered humans 10-1. So literally, we had no stop sign. We made national news when we got an ATM. We literally were on the Jay Leno show because Jay Leno thought it was amazing that we finally got an ATM. So my simple fact at the end of the day is the fact that with this whole thing said, sorry, I got to take that out of the echo out, but there, you guys can still hear me. So, Mr. Jones, can you hear me? Cool. Okay. So with that said, you guys moved, went to school there. I was a 4-season athlete. I loved playing sports. I was just a country tomboy. I was a little sister. My brother's 6 years older than me. That is it. That's all. Long blonde hair, like country bumpkin. And I moved to Texas with my ex-husband. And we were not married at that point. We actually moved to Texas, and then we actually moved back for a bit, and then we got married, and then we came back. So I know there's a whole back and forth thing, but I was married for 5 years. I got married right out of high school. We came to Houston, Texas, because at the end of the day, he was from here. He had family here, and work was better here. So we came down. We started a life here. We went our separate ways 5 years later. And I was on my own for a hot second. And I mean that like I was like almost 8 to 10 years. I was on my own before I ever met this amazing young man here. I have dated, huh? Ah, you're so sweet. So I'll say this. I have always, no. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Take always back out. From a very young age in middle or in elementary, I learned to love everyone. And I really found myself as, because I'm a Cancer, as a Cancerian zodiac sign and some other signs, I'm very empathetic. I really feel other people. And I slipped up when I was younger, I think in 3rd grade, and I called one of my dear friends who was a Hispanic girl, because Idaho had a huge population of Hispanic people who would come to work the agricultural side of things. And so I had called her a name that was not a very nice name. It was a racial slur at the end of the day. And she kicked my ass. Like, she was like, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, let's go meet me at the manhole. And I was scared. Like, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that meant that. And that offended her. So I showed up, and she was really mad, and she was calling me a lot of things in her book and whatnot. And let me just mind you, this young lady, she had like 4 or 5 older brothers, and they were all part of the gangs. Like, they were legit gang members. Like, she had no problem letting you know that either. And so my point being is, I was like, oh, I'm really going to get my ass kicked. And I just, at the end of the day, I told her, I said, I am so sorry. I didn't realize my words would hurt you, and I didn't realize what I was saying. And so I do understand why you want to kick my ass. I would ask that you not kick my ass, but so if it has to be, it has to be. We will go to tussle, but at the end of the day, I am very sorry. And we didn't go to tussle, because she was just like, she actually hauled off and slugged me in the arm, and she's like, oh, fuck you, white girl, and she was out. Well, that really hurt my heart. So it was funny. I, tried to mend that relationship, and I did. And we became like great friends, like best of friends. And to this day, she's one of, the people I still talk to. My point being is that gave me an eye opening when I was very young, that I really wanted to be inclusive of all people, regardless of what they look like. Okay. So park that there, moved out of my gut. So my ex-husband was Hispanic. He was Puerto Rican Hispanic. So, then when I dated, between David and I dated a white guy, I dated a Hispanic guy, I dated a white guy. That was it. And so, and when I say date, like, no, that's no. Yes. And you already, look, your dad already started this. But anyways, so with that said, when David and I met, David and I met talking shit to each other, real talk. And so, by the way, if you were just tuning in, hold on. If you're just tuning in onto the podcast on our live recording on Instagram, yes, there's going to be some adult language. We apologize, but this is our podcast, and this is where we keep it real, raw, and funny as #AF, and that means funny as fuck. So if you hear some adult language, we apologize if we turn anybody off. Most of the time, we keep it PG-13, but right now, we're going to get a little saucy with it. So back to this, me not cheating and David. No, I was making sure the people on Instagram knew that we were dropping some F-bombs and it was going to be okay. So, anywho, thank you, Black Diamond. So anyways, David and I met, and when David and I met, we were playing flag football. And when we actually met, I was seeing somebody and David was seeing somebody, and we were not interested in each other. We literally, I was a competitor. I didn't care for David because David talked a whole lot of shit out on the football field and thought his shit didn't stink and thought that he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Real talk. So what happened is I was on defense. And if you know anything about flag football, huh? What? Well, I meant in the thing of like football. So hold up. So that's how I felt about. Let me make sure this is clear, so I don't have to sleep on the couch tonight, y'all. So that is how I felt. Yeah, that is how I felt before we ever started an intimate relationship. So just you park your little scooter right there, Mr. Jones. So back to the story. Mr. Jones and I met playing flag football. I was on defense on one. We were in the middle of our game. And if you've ever played flag football, you basically have a quarterback and 7 million receivers. Not really. It's 9 receivers. So you have 10 people on the – you have someone who snaps who turns into your receiver. So you're just all running routes to get open so that way you can progress the ball down the field. And it's usually like a man-on-man or you're playing coverage, whatever. So my point being is we were playing the zone coverage because at the end of the day, we could not keep up with this team's speed, and we knew that, and so we had to play coverage in order to not man-to-man. So I am playing middle linebacker at the end of the day, and Mr. Jones actually, played middle linebacker at his collegiate career, and so he might know a few things about middle linebacker, but I'm going to give her a run for its money, right? I'm going to talk a whole lot of shit, too, while I'm doing it. So, I don't know what you're talking about. So Mr. Jones and I, the game is progressing and we're lined up and here comes Mr. Jones and he's doing a short, what is it called? What's the professional name of this route, love? A slant. He's running a slant. And so I see him and I pick him up out of the corner of my eye and I know exactly what he's doing because his receiver over here on my left-hand side cleared out any and all help on my left because they knew they had a slow-ass white girl over here on the middle linebacker. I know how Mr. Jones' mind thinks now, if you want to know. So, anywho, here comes Mr. Jones. Trucking along, and I see him, and I know I have no backup. I know if he catches this ball, because I'm watching the quarterback's eyes, I know he's looking for him. I know if he catches the ball and he gets that corner on me, they got a touchdown, and my ass is grass because I didn't get his flag. Because he's really fucking quick, excuse my French. But we back. So, anywho, I see him coming across. I see the quarterback releasing. And next thing, Mr. Jones goes to, catch the ball. Now, quarterback's behind us. So, he's catching the ball from the backside and making his pocket. Well, Mr. Jones just so happened to drop that first catch. So happened. Now, let me just tell y'all something real quick, real quick. You might call me, slow, but I ain't slow up here, and I'm going to outthink your ass, because if I can't keep up with you, there's going to be some way I'm going to try to get myself in an even level of competition. I was just leveling the competition field. I mean, you were over there trying to pick on a poor, innocent girl. No, I didn't say white girl. That would have been that Karen shit. If I said white girl, then it would have been Karen shit. But, anywho, so back to the fact is, Mr. Jones goes to catch his ball, and his left hand from his basket just so disappeared. Like, he couldn't catch the ball with one hand. I don't know what happened. Like, he must have tripped or something, or his arm just gave out. So, anyways, he drops the ball. And I said, that's what I thought, motherfucker. Take your ass back over the other side of the field. Don't bring your ass back over here. I told you, look, don't be trying to pick on me. I did say all that. But you were too busy talking to, not Terrell, what's his name? We knew this ref. No, you were talking to the ref with dreads. He had dreads. Anywho, you were too busy talking to the dude with dreads and the ref at the end of the day. And letting him know that I cheated and that why didn't you call a flag for pass interference and 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 all I simply said was, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know why you bitching about a girl who stopped you, and that you just take your ass back over there because you just mad that a girl stopped you. That's all I said. I know, y'all. This is real. This is real talk. This is how this happened. Look, we on our podcast getting naked. So anywho, Mr. Jones lines back up over on his left side of the field. Right, my right side, his left side. And he looked at his quarterback, and I believe it was Malik at that time. And he's like, yo, bro, run that shit again. I said, you can run that shit again and bring it back over here, but I'm going to stop you again. Well, y'all, so see, what had happened was, no, he caught that before he got to my ass and cut in front of me, and he was out like a light, and he got a touchdown. So that is how we first met, and it was like I said, he was in a relationship, and I was dating somebody, and we talked shit for the whole game to each other, even at the end of the game. I remember walking over to him. He's walking out of the end zone. We lost, and I walked over to say good game to him after all of the shit talking that we did, and I said, hey, good game. He goes, yeah, good game, cheater. I'm just going to start calling you elbow since you grab elbows and shit. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. You just mad that I shut your ass down one time. I scored on you. I don't know. And back off he went. So I don't know if you want to park it there or you want me to move on for 6 months later when we actually, met. So where we actually decided. The real part, I did say the real part. I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't? Mm-hmm. Back then? Ooh. Mm. Yeah, you were an asshole back then. Yes. Bingo. Yes, that's what you just said, right? My bad, y'all. I get so excited to talk. Y'all, I did this earlier and he was like, oh my God. No, I was telling you how it went down 10 years ago. So that ain't the Karen shit now. That's that 10 years ago shit. Look into the light. It's beautiful. No, I didn't. I said, do you want me to park it there? And you said, yeah, let me reset it. Okay, let's go. So anywho, so then 6 months later, David and I had played up against each other a few times, and we had played together at this point because they needed a lot of times you'll need a girl to pick up blah, 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 da, 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 or you have to, play short. And so I picked up a few times and played on their team within like this 6 month span. Yeah, it was 6 months because yes, it was 6 months. And boy, I tell you guys, so 6 months later, I was still seeing the gentleman that I was seeing when David and I first met. And I went out, we had a great weekend together, and I realized that he has been seeing multiple people instead of, in addition to me. And I was like, oh, no, this is not how this ball game works. And so I rolled the WTF out and was very much in my feelings about it, upset about it. I was just, really pissed off about it. And it's just because it's not how I would treat somebody, and I don't expect to be treated that way. So everything happens for a reason, though. Ding, 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 ding. So here we go. And that Monday, David's best friend and his now wife, they were engaged. They ran the teams. They reached out, hey, can you pick up this week because we're going to be headed to Cancun for our wedding. Oh yeah, absolutely, I can pick up and help. Well, then this happened with the, that dude, and when I am like boohoo, sad, I really will just I choose to sleep. Like I will just sleep it off, and then get up and move on. Say what? That's how I process my stuff, is I have to download and sleep. So I wanted to just be in my bed and sleep and leave me the WTF alone. I don't want nobody messing with me. So here we go. I comes around. It's Wednesday. I gotta go play football, and I don't want to go play football. I am like, man, I just need to bump these people on a text message and let them know, hey, I ain't gonna make it. Y'all need to pick somebody else up. And something inside me said, no, T, you gave your word. They're in Cancun. That's not very cool. Would you want to be on your wedding and then have to deal with that shit? And I know Deb, our friend, she would definitely she would make sure she got somebody. And I don't want to put that stress on them. So I was like, man, suck it up, take your ass out there. And I used to, try to look kind of cute when I'd go out there, single girl stuff. I didn't give a fuck this day. I looked rough. And when I mean rough, I looked rough, y'all. I did not care what I looked like. I showed up with. This is why this podcast is real and raw. I showed up to this game, and we had early game, 6:30, 7:30 game. And so that meant basically I was going to be there from 6:30 to 8:30, and I was out. Well, what happens is when you enter the park, you get this little token. You can take it up afterwards and get a beer or a soda or whatever. So long story short, I used to always go up there and hang out with everybody. But this day I was like, fuck this. I'm going in here playing these games, telling everybody, leave me the hell alone. And I'm going to wreck some shop. You do definitely not want to line up across from me, because today is going to be full contact football. It is not going to be flag football. I'm going straight at some dudes, and I'm going to fuck some people up. That's how I felt. Real talk. I was mad. I did not like guys. I was mad at men. I was angry. And so I went out there. Well, I'm just reliving it so they understand the passion, Maybe this is a healing journey right now. You never know. Maybe this is a healing process. So my point being is I went out there. I let our team know, like, look, I'm here. I'm not really in the mood to be fucking with nobody, so leave me alone. And I was out. Anyways, we play the games. We're heading back, and everybody always stops at the clubhouse to have a drink. And they all were doing the same thing on our way back. And they said, hey, T, I'm making my way out the gate, and they're like, oh, hey, T, now come on. Now, by this time, I made friends on the team because we played together a few times. So at this time, come on, come play with us, or come have a drink with us. I was like, no, leave me alone. David's like, oh, come on, T, come have a drink with us. I was like, no, no. And he's like, oh, come on, what are you gonna do, to sit on that token? I was like, man, all right, fuck it. Let's go have a drink. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I just sit here and tell you how much I do not like men, and you can listen to that. So whatever, if that's what you want to listen to, let's go. So, y'all, real talk. I went in there, had a beer. Next thing I know, Mr. Jones got me another beer. Next thing David and I realized is that, well, actually, at one point, David's like, hey, I'll be right back. And I was talking to the girls on the team, anyways, the other girls. And I knew everybody in the complex. So people were walking by, I'm talking, whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'm great. Whatever you're going, I don't care. And he disappears out to, his car or whatever. Well, I later find out he went out to the car to get it, or he had his phone or whatever, or to go out there and to check Facebook to see how I really looked when I didn't look so rough. Because I'm telling you, I looked rough. So he had to go out there and check my ass out on Facebook to see if this girl, what does she look like on a, yeah, is she worth my beer that I'm giving her right now? So, yeah, and he would have rolled the fuck out in that car, and I would have never seen the man again until we played again. So there you go. Man, yeah. So anyways, here we are. Bye. I love you too. Bye. By the time the day was over, it was midnight. They were shutting the park down. David and I then took it over to a taco shop. We sat there till 3 a.m. and we bullshitted and we bitched to each other about the breakups we both had. Yeah, we did. We both said, we're like, ah. Yeah, we didn't bitch, but we did bitch. I mean, yeah, absolutely. We were venting and we were leaning on each other to vent, and we were both looking at each other going, I don't want to date, I don't want nothing, I don't want kids, I don't want nothing. And we were like, cool, me neither. We can be friends. And so we bonded over that trauma and we bonded over that friendship. And David walked me out to my car, and I remember, because it's parked right up front, I remember he opened up my door for me and I said, thank you. And mind you, this is the first black guy I'm sitting around having dinner with, honestly, honest to God. Like, I had black friends, but not honest to God, just being transparent, because we talked about being the truth of interracial couple. So I walked out to my car, he opened up my door and asked me for my number, and I gave him the number. I really did give him the right number, but he took it in wrong. So later on, we had to get that corrected. He's like, you gave me the wrong number. I was like, no, I didn't. I gave you the right one, but you took it in wrong. So here it is. Here's my right one. Give me a call, whatever. But I will say at all of this, you know how much I love that word. So I will say at all of this, you guys, the thought I had getting into my car as I was driving away, mind you, it's 3:00 in the morning, and David's only got to fly out the next day to Cancun. I got to go to work in 4 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is. And I'm thinking as I'm driving to my house, I was like, is this going to be like the first black guy that I might hang out and date? You know, like, this is going to be interesting. Like, my mom would be cool with it. My brother, whatever. Dad's not here. You know who's not going to be like cool with it probably is probably my bosses. Because at that point I was very close to my bosses. You know, they were, it was just us three. So there you are. That's how we met. 3 days later, he was in Cancun Saturday, and he called me out of the blue. And I guess it's because he wanted to say hi. And I thought it was the weirdest thing, because I was like, dude, why are you calling me? And then we hung out and we watched sports forever. We watched the playoffs, and we just hung out as friends and became friends. Is why at the end of the day, David is my best friend. He's. I expect him to do girl things at times, and he's like, oh, but that is why we were best friends, is because of the bond and the what we went through, and just understanding that we were both just tired of shit. And little did we know we were going to have our own shit that we had to go through. But yeah, there you go. So now you know how we met. 20 freaking minutes later, Tara? No. Oh, yeah.
Certain a lot of ladies resonate with that as well when they went through their same moments, and just being able to, hear your story and where you come from, and then I'll share with people, a little bit of how my background is, and how we came about. It's just crazy in itself when we think back at it, because like I was sharing with people, Tara lived in the same neighborhood, when she moved to Houston, where my parents lived at. And we literally hung out at this title place that was literally right around the corner from her old apartment. So it was like a Sonic that was right there. So and there was a Fiesta that was right there. There was a Kroger that was right there. There was an HEB that was right there. So 9 times out of 10, maybe 4 of those years I was in college, a lot of that I wasn't there, but just the proximity of how close we were. And as I remind people, we're all people away from knowing everybody in life. And then even more so for me growing up in Houston, and I went to a middle school that was nothing but it was biracial, it was a little more black, it was a little bit more Hispanic and black people that went to that middle school. And I in elementary, I went to like a private school, I went to like an all white elementary school. And so I remind people, especially when you said at the end, hey, this is potentially, the first, black person, that I potentially date. I grew up in all areas, and liked multiple different types of women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Asian women, I like black women. I mean, I only dated, I really have this experience
Yeah.
And I hear people, especially now in the clubhouse streets, I hear people talking, distinguish, black women this, black women that. And it really, disheartens me a little bit because we're all the same. I mean, we all have different backgrounds, and I hear people say, like the other day, I hear people say, especially, from my side, I would grow up and guys would be, man, you're dating that white girl, or even in high school, I dated a white girl, I dated a Latino girl, and I would get, that own rub from, my own people. And I remind people that, if you grew up around 14-foot aliens,
Mm-hmm.
these 14-foot aliens dance and sing, and that's what you were accustomed to do. That's all you do.
Mm-hmm.
People are this way, and they're only this. That's completely different. And I
Mm-hmm.
remind people, your surroundings tell you everything. If I was only surrounded with, and not only that, I'll give you a color. When I got recruited to go to school in Kansas, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you black guy. Look no further.
Oh shoot.
Kansas. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's
Oh, it froze on me. There we're back. Probably. Boom.
growing up in a predominantly white, elementary, I went to middle school that was black and back, into predominantly white, high school and college. What else did you expect? And that's the thing that I hear now is that people say, have these personas and these expectations of black and white and all these different races. And I remind us all that we're all the same. We all go through the same traumas. We all go through the same, issues in our life. And as I share with you, Tara, and as I share with you guys all, if black people, if black people, if white people said right now, hey, you know what? We're not racist anymore. Black people, sorry, we're forgiven. We give reparations, all of that. Everything's, hey, we're going to give you all that you want. We're back at it. You know what? Black people would be just as racist as white people. Because just as white people were raised, and Latino people were raised, Asian people were raised, and Indian people were raised, and they heard their father or their mother talk about different races and different religions and things of that sort, those things carry on. And so we have to remember that, those things really, are ingrained in us. And those are things that I really had to unlearn and really recondition myself because, the crazy thing about it is that I see, this is the crazy thing, is that I see people listen to Tara
LGBTQ, yeah. Well, I just want to say, now that we are 10 years down this journey, it has gotten to the point now where we understand. Before we went through this whole thing about, we saw it, we dealt with it, we were in it, we lived it, we lived the looks and the comments and the attitudes and all of that. But what it's really incredible is over the past 5 years, as David and I have started with our mindset journey, and we shifted into a place of love. We shifted into a heart center and opened up our heart chakra and started getting this right and healing this person, this right here, which we all know we all carry traumas and generational traumas. We all have them of some sort, to some degree, to some manner. And there's healing that has to be done. And when that healing started and we started doing that, it allowed us to understand that, and I might ruffle a few feathers here, but the whole racism conversation that is being held is all a part of the larger picture to keep us divided. It is a part of the system. It's part of the strategy. The more often that we are debating each other over each other, well, you're black and I'm white and this, that, and the other, and I went through this and I did this and you did that, and the more that we do that and we live in that world, is the more that we are sucking into that system, to that cycle, to what we are all coming aware of that doesn't work for us. It doesn't work. It never has worked. And so what we are all starting to learn is that, hey, dude, you're human. Or that's a pretty cool meat suit that you picked out. I picked out this meat suit to walk this earth. And that we're all just walking around having spiritual journeys in these meat suits, real talk. And so that has been a 10-year whole trek there, you guys. This didn't start out, it started out of the base of love. It started out as seeing David as just a human and him seeing me as just a human. And it was more on my end because he was the first black gentleman that I dated. And now look, 10 years later, almost 11 years, here we are. And so my point being is that it started there, but you guys have to understand, through our ugly times, there were some bitter, hard times we went through. We threw race into each other's face. It became racial within our relationship, and we divided each other. And it has had to come back around where we've had to heal through this process. We've had to, the George Floyd, you guys, we lost contact with my brother over that because of insensitive comments. We lost contact with, his family over other things that weren't even related to George Floyd, but it came down to, not so much race, it came down to just traumas not being healed. Trauma not being healed, and he doesn't know how to handle his alcohol, and he got handsy and he put his hands on the wrong person. Don't put your hands on me is what I'm going to say. But no, anyways, we keep it real, we keep it raw. So, I think at the end of the day, that really, you guys, is the journey. It became a point of a tactic, a war tactic in our fights, and we had to really take ownership and be like, you know what, enough. No, I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. We're not going to accept that as our okay anymore. It might have been, but we're leveling up. And in order to level up, we have to raise our morals and our standards between each other. And we're still learning this, guys. We're still learning how to have love and grace for each other every day. But I will tell you, there are the weirdest things. Like, I never knew that you ate grape jelly on your breakfast tacos until one day David and we were going fishing. It was early morning. We pulled through Waterburger. Woo woo, let's get some breakfast tacos. This man orders his, he orders mine. He gets up there, he's like, you need anything else? I was like, oh, can you have some hot sauce or salsa or something? He's like, yeah. And he's like, and 4 things of grape jelly. I was like, grape jelly? What are you putting grape jelly on? And he's like, girl, I'm putting those on my tacos, don't you know? I was like, no, I do not know. See, from the north, we put hot sauce or salsa or ketchup or something on it. He's like, I mean, ketchup would do too if they didn't have grape jelly, but nah, we're going to go with the grape jelly. It's a great thing, absolutely. Yep. A lot of condiments. Look, this is the funny thing. Him and my best friend who is Hispanic. My best friend is Hispanic. She don't eat nothing pica anyway. She's like, oh no, it's pica. I'm not eating it. Pica means hot, spicy. Ain't doing it. Speaking of hot sauce, Miss Teresa, who's watching, just watched me eat cucumbers with hot sauce on them earlier. See? What? Yep. Yep. Yeah, no. Mom would make sometimes mom in the on a Saturday or whatever. Now we didn't get a Saturday breakfast or a Sunday breakfast. See, not that's another thing. Like, we didn't have family meal. Well, maybe our white family. We didn't have family meals. The only times we had family meals was Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was it. No, there was no meal cooked. I mean, we just no. I mean, there was a meal cooked every day because we cooked from home. We never ate out, ever ate out, never. And so, oh, I will. I'll cook for an army. I love to cook if there's people to eat it, and I don't got nothing else to do. E- So, anywho, my point being is you asked about food. Yes, pancakes. My mom would make pancakes. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to make pancakes this morning." She'd make pancakes, and she would put peanut butter on them, and she'd just eat peanut butter and pancakes. Now, I put peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and syrup on them, but that's how she ate them. But my dad, this is the craziest thing. My dad did not like pancakes because pancakes and peanut butter and jelly reminded him way too much of the Navy when he was in there, and he had to eat peanut butter and jelly like every damn day, and he was over it. My point about this is that my dad, if he was going to have, my dad had bacon and eggs and hash browns every Saturday, every Sunday morning, and sometimes throughout the week because he was at that point retired. Uh, yeah, my dad when he passed was 68. So, he had me when he was in his 40s already. So I was 28 when my father passed. So, yeah. 28, 29, somewhere around there. Anyways, it was just on. But I will tell you the reason why this fineness be here is A, because of my wellness simplified, and B, because I am now vegetarian. And I'll tell you, you get rid of meat. I had somebody the other day go, how old are you? At work the other day, I said, man, I'm going to be 40 this year. And they went, you're going to be 40? And I went, yeah. And they went, you do not look 40. And I was like, well, thank you. I take that as a compliment because I only act like I'm 4. So let's go.
Podcast, Getting Naked, where we keep it real, raw, and funny.
I don't got no filters on either. Just a light. Boom. Look, I've been working on my arms. They're not there yet. I got to bring them back, but we've been working on them. Trying to do anything with Tara when she is in fun play mode is impossible, y'all. I was going to say. So, hey, boo-boo. Having naked conversations. It's when. Gidgets and gadgets. Mm-hmm. Oh, Mr. Jones just froze up there. Don't worry, if you're tuning us in Instagram right now, Mr. Jones just froze. It's okay. You get to watch me until he comes back. Mr. Jones, you froze. Oh, there he is. I got some free information for him. Here's my free information for you. It's currently 80 degrees in Houston, Texas, and it's middle of winter. Anywho, I'm like, why am I sweating? Anywho, thanks, boo. So let's talk some more. Are we ready to talk some more, or are you done? I'm sorry. Okay. then I got some questions for you. Yeah, you can keep the live going for a minute. So I got a couple of questions for you. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned through our relationship in regards to the whole interracial thing? We'll keep it on topic. So, like, what's the biggest thing through this whole entire thing that you have learned in regards to interracial, like our relationship interracially? Like, what has shifted? Where did you start? What's been that biggest thing that kind of like, okay, this makes sense. I understand. For me, for instance, I'll answer just my side so you understand. The biggest thing I've realized is that this is all a part of the systematic structure to keep us divided, and that it is literally systematically fed into us to be divisive and divided, and it's constant. It's over race, it's over religion, it's over politics, it's over money, it's always something. And so what I really realized is that David Jones, Tara Bush don't play those games. We play our game. We level up to our playing field, and so we don't play into the racism conversation. We don't. If that's where someone wants to have it, great. That's you. I will not be a part of that conversation because I ultimately know it deep down in mine. Are you frozen or are you just stuck like that? Okay, you're just not moving. I was like, oh shit, is he frozen? You were in flow. So that was the biggest thing for me, is to understand that for so long, our relationship, I would look at each other and be like, man, I mean, why can't people just understand, like, it's just a meat suit and we all bleed, a dark red, and we all have one heart unless you have a little palpitation or something, and we all have 10 fingers unless you got an extra one. Like, I mean, we're all the same. And so I deliberated so long over that through our relationship, and my empathetic heart could not understand why people could not just freaking shut up and get along. And I realized it was because I don't need to be a part of that conversation. That's going to constantly be there. That division is going to constantly be there, and I'm not going to solve it by going head on at it. I'm going to go solve it through our company by loving other people, regardless of the creed or color or nation, or if they got 17 million toes, or if they're green like a little alien, or whatever it is. By the way, I can't wait to meet aliens, but back to that point. So that's what I learned. I hope that helps. It is. We started there though. Mm-hmm.